I don't know, it seems like where they'd hold water or ice. Because look at the hole there for collecting rainwater in the ceiling. Stable for the horses. The underbelly of the Duke's Palace in Urbino. So these 5 rooms were used as warehouses for food and timber. And in this room, there's a tank and a water well here with the 1537 engraved on it. Water pipes in terracotta. Becky, this looks like your house where the room is sloped so they can hose it off every day. Maybe they like slaughtered animals or... So we're in the Duke's Palace in Urbino, Italy. And a lot of the works inside the palace are part of the National Art Museum towards the beginning of the Renaissance. So this is from 1455. And this is St. Anthony of Padua, painted by Jacob Bedi, B-E-D-I. This is St. Clare of Assisi. This is dated about 1425, painted also by Bedi. St. Michael and St. John the Baptist, same time period. Beautiful. These are drawings, or as they say in Italy, cartoons, by Domenichino, around 1630s. Huge. For perspective, here's the doorway. Here's the drawing. Here's the last one. Beautiful. These tapestries are from the late 1500s. This is a series of lions with unicorns and deer, apparently. Very beautiful. I don't know if you can see the detail. This tapestry is named A Fight of a Cat with a Bird. So this is a portrait of the woman by Raphael. This is Giovanni Santi's more famous son. And I guess his other painting here is being loaned out to the Met in New York. So this room is dedicated to Giovanni Santi. This was the father of Raphael. He was the court artist, and although overshadowed a lot by his son, I read that he was a very significant influence in the La Marche region.
Riassumo quello che ha detto la guida? Sì. Tutto in legno, ok? Tutto intarsiato, quello che vedete sotto sono delle ante, ok? Sono delle ante che si aprono, se non sbaglio. Sì, sì. E saggi dell'antichità. Alcuni sono santi, tipo questi qua su. Qua c'è Sant'Ambrogio, San Girolamo, Gerolamo, Agostino.
So these are the different sections of the art gallery and the names of the artists. Number 3 I just showed you. And I assume these are like the most famous works, so I'll try to look for those. So this is Saint Dominic, and he was martyred by beheading, which is hence the wound on the neck there. But kind of interesting. He was invoked for protection against rabid dog bites. So notice these dogs here at the bottom. So something I noticed that's very typical of this time period is they're moving toward kind of a 3D face, but it's still a little flat. And this painting of the crucifixion is by Giacomo Recanati, 1443. But what's kind of interesting to me is you have the faces of the people expressing like this restrained look of suffering, contrasting with the blood of Christ kind of gushing out or squirting out. So I just found that kind of paradoxical and weird. Versus this look where you can see obvious disdain and people being upset with a very slightly later time period by a couple decades. I don't know, I just thought it was interesting. So there's a lot of gold in these panels, suggesting a patron with a lot more money commissioning this piece here. So this is always so interesting to me, how things are dated not only based on carbon dating by the qualities in the paint, but also by the styles of the clothing and so on. So this particular fresco is dated because of the fashion of the time, which is symbolized by these large openings in the necklines of the angels' robes. I don't know if you can see that. So this was probably painted in the 1340s based on. So this work is San Donato of 1438, painted by Antonio di Guido da Ferrara. So this might seem crazy to those who don't know, but we've seen this before in other towns. This is St. Agatha, bearing in her hands the symbols of her martyrdom, which is her severed breasts and the palm as a symbol of her sacrifice. So this is dated 1437 by the same artist, da Ferrara, but they actually sell cookies with a nipple on the top that are popular throughout Italy to honor St. Agatha. So kind of a fun fact, weird fact based on her martyrdom. This is a 15th century spiral staircase inside this. So we're at the top of Rampo Eliquo Dale, And there's an art exhibition up here. Looks like 5th grade, 4th grade. Pretty. Lots of versions of Pinocchio in this exhibit.
And the truffle, oliva alla scalana with the zucchini cream, bread with carrot, cream and ham, and the fake ice cream inside is chicken liver with the sesame seeds.
Thank you.
Prego.
Happy dogs. Hey, baby.
No, we are painting. We are painting inside. So let me check.